Okay. And I think I might just mute everybody too. How do I do that again? Hmm. Elaine, how do I do that? I think, oh no, manage participants, mute all. Okay. Got it. Okay. So I made some notes and then I have not gone over my notes since I made my notes. So hopefully this all sort of flows and makes a little bit of sense. But what I wanted to talk about today was I have 4 steps for attracting your dream team, but also for just attracting like your dream challengers, because I mean, I think they both go hand in hand, but essentially these tips can kind of be used for both of them. So the first step is determining your avatar. The second step is building a strong foundation. Third is using your story, and 4 is sealing the deal. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of break it down into those 4 steps. So the first step, determining your avatar. Do you guys all sort of know like what I mean by that when I say avatar? Because I didn't know. Like, I remember Michelle did a call a long time ago on like your avatar, and I was like, what in God's name is that? But it's basically like creating the person that you are talking to, and it's like creating like a fictional character almost. So this was a quote that I had heard: the more people you try to appeal to, the less people you are actually going to touch. And I think that's really, really important, because when we first start out as coaches, you know, we're talking. I need to turn my phone away because it's going off like crazy. We sort of start to talk to everybody, right? Like, you are just so excited to be doing this and posting, and you're sort of posting to like anyone that will talk to you, and your posts are all geared towards basically anyone: young girls, old girls, moms, not moms, people who have 5 pounds to lose, people who have 150 pounds to lose. You're talking to everybody. But the thing that starts to happen when you talk to everybody is you really aren't talking to anybody, because you're not touching anybody specifically. You're just sort of like kind of touching pieces of every single person, but you're not really like getting anybody, because you're talking to too many people, if that makes sense at all. So if you want to keep growing your business, you really need to narrow in on who you are talking to, and ideally who you want on your team. So those things always have to be in your mind. Who is it you want on your team? Who do you want to work with? Who do you want your business partners to be? And who do you want your challengers to be? So you need to start speaking to those people. And those people are going to be different for all of us, okay? So you need to, I already said that. So you need to start thinking about who your dream challenger is, your dream coach. What kind of person are they? What kinds of things do they like? What kind of qualities do they have? What motivates them? Basically, like who they are in a nutshell. So I am going to tell you a little bit about my person, who I am talking to. And this changes as you go through the business. Like, the person I was talking to a year ago is a lot different than who I'm talking to now. And probably a year from now, I'm going to be talking to someone even a little bit more different. So right now, this is who I'm talking to. She's a female, and she's in between the ages of about 28 and 32. And sorry, before I go through this, just keep in mind that like, this isn't, because you guys don't all fit into this. So I don't want anyone to be like, well, I'm on her team and I'm not that. So, you know, I'm obviously not going to be successful on her team, or she didn't want me on my team. That's not what this is. It's really just about identifying who you are talking to in your posts. Not to say you won't attract people who aren't these qualities, if that makes sense. So she is in between 28 and 32. She's a stay-at-home mom. She has about 10 to 15 pounds to lose, mostly baby weight. She wakes up every morning when her kids wake up. Usually they're crying. And then she tends to stay in her jammies all morning long, drinking coffee, watching TV. She feels tired. She's lethargic. She's just going through the motions every single day. She loves being a mom, but she also finds it a bit repetitive and boring. Her kids never sleep, so she uses that as an excuse as to why she feels so crappy all the time, why she can never really do anything or go out or start working out or eat healthy or meet friends. She's happy, but she doesn't really see her life changing in any big way in the future. She loves the idea of working out and eating healthy, but she really has no clue where to start. And truthfully, she doesn't believe she could actually stick to something like that. She would love to travel with her family, but knows that that's probably not in the big picture. Her relationship with her husband is okay, but often she is bitter and resentful with her husband because he has hobbies, he has, a life outside of the house, outside of the kids and outside of her. She knows it would be amazing to not have to worry about money, but doesn't really see their financial life changing. She goes to bed every night and knows she will just repeat the same process again, which isn't terrible, but it's not overly exciting. She wants passion in her life in every single way. So that is the person that I'm speaking to in basically all my posts. So if you see my posts, you can kind of see who I'm talking to, and that's exactly who I'm talking to. And that person was me. So that's who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the person that I was just like, because I know I can touch her, because I can relate to her, and she's going to relate to me. So your avatar has to be someone who is either just like you right now or was like you. Okay? So now I am going to give you guys 5 minutes, and I want you guys to write down your avatar. So even if you're like checking your messages right now while I'm talking, just stop, because I think this is so valuable. And no, this little 5-minute exercise might not get you to Success Club tomorrow, but this is going to help you like in the coming months. Okay. So take 5 minutes and just picture that person in your head. I picture her. I know exactly what she looks like. I see her sitting in her family room with her kids. I know exactly who this person is. So picture your person and just start writing out qualities. Okay. I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes and go. Are you guys good? Yeah. Okay. And if you like, this is something that you should definitely go back and like just add more detail, and you can like put as much detail as you want, because that's going to help you when you're creating posts. You can just look at the list of qualities that this person has and just create a post based on one of those qualities, right? Because that is who you are talking to. That is exactly who you're talking to. That's who you want to attract. That's who they're going to become, your teammates, your coaches, your business partners. So it's super important to really hone in on their qualities and what makes them unique so that you can start talking to them. So now that you're going to start gearing all your posts towards that person, and you really want to, every post you do, you want to sort of ask yourself, am I talking to her? Like, is she going to get this? Is this going to hit her? Is she going to understand? Is she going to see this post and go, oh my God, she's talking to me? Like, that's how your posts should feel. Okay. So it's not just sort of posting just to post, and it's really posting to find that person. Okay. So you now have your avatar, you know who you're talking to. That's so important. However, if you do not have a strong foundation, it doesn't mean anything. And when I say a strong foundation, I'm talking your storefront. Okay? That's your Facebook page. Wherever you are running this business from, that is your foundation. So you need to have a super strong foundation, a strong storefront, your Facebook page. This is your first impression. Okay? So you have to treat it like if you were walking into a store, that's your first impression. You're not going to walk into some like dumpy, negative looking store, right? Like, you want to make your Facebook page super appealing so that when someone stumbles across it or you send them a friend request, they're going to want to go and check it out. They're just going to be drawn into that. And they should be, if you are doing a good job at speaking to your person. So your Facebook page has to be consistent with what you want to attract. So if you are not attracting coaches, if you are just sitting there thinking, why am I not building my team? I'm not getting to Emerald, or I'm not getting to Diamond, or I'm not adding coaches each month. You have to look at what you are posting. Are you attracting coaches? Are you posting about the business consistently? Because that is the only way you're going to attract coaches, is by posting about it. You can't expect them to know what you're doing if you're not talking about it. Just like you are not going to attract challengers if you're not talking about challenge groups. And if you're not talking about the success that goes on in challenge groups, or how you started out in a challenge group and how you continue to be in challenge groups. So if you don't talk about those things, you're never going to attract challengers. You're just going to attract people that are liking your posts. So you have to really look at what you are trying to attract in all your posts. A lot of the time, people don't know that there are two sides to this business, or to what we do, I guess. There's two sides of it. There's a challenger and there's a coach. So usually, if you're doing a good job, people know that they can join a challenge group. They know that you have something for them to join to help with their health and fitness goals. But oftentimes they don't know that there's a whole other side of it, that there's the business opportunity. And that is really intriguing for some people. But we have to be posting about both equally. We can't just post about the coaching opportunity every once in a while because it's out of our comfort zone, or maybe we don't feel like we've earned the right to talk about coaching yet. Because I know that's how I felt. I felt like I can't be talking about being a coach and joining my team when I don't even have a team and I haven't seen any success. How am I supposed to attract somebody to me? But at the same time, how am I supposed to get there if I can't get anybody? So you have to just start talking about it, because that's who you want to attract. So you have to show people that there are two sides to this. there's a business opportunity, and there's the health and fitness of a challenge group. So your messages that you're sending out need to sort of align with what people see when they go to your page. So if you are sending out coaching invites, which I think we all have sort of stepped up our game a little bit with the coaching invite, especially in this month, because we've sort of done a little push and, the accountability of showing each other our, tracking record. So I think that we have been sending out some coaching invites, which is great. But let's say the person you are throwing that coaching invite out to didn't even realize that this was a business opportunity. So you know what they're going to do is they're going to head over to your page and be like, oh my God, she just asked me to be a coach. Like, what is she talking about? So she's going to head over to your page and start scrolling through. But if you don't have anything about coaching and what it's done for you, why would they be interested, right? Like, we have to show these people what it is that we have to offer and why they would want to do it. So I had a really interesting thing happen to me, like it was maybe a month ago or so. This woman that was in my support group, she sent me, which was very clearly scripted, because it was like, hey girl, I don't think it even had my name. And maybe I even said this on a call, but she actually said something about like, oh, looks like you're enjoying this beautiful day with your kids today. How awesome. And I was actually at work, so I was not with my kids, but I think she went to my Facebook page, like all network marketers are taught to do, and take a look at their page so you can, say something in the message that relates to them. So she probably saw a post from like 3 days ago of me outside with the kids and just used that and was like, oh, looks like you're having fun, thinking it was today, which it wasn't. So I was like, okay, right there, lady, you've lost all credibility because you are clearly scripting me. It is super obvious. Maybe because that's what I do, so I could see through it. But also the fact that, no, I wasn't outside. I was sitting at work for 12 hours. And she didn't use my name. That's beside the point. Anyway, she was telling me about this, like, maybe you guys have heard about it. It's almost like a Fitbit, but it sounds like a really like high quality Fitbit that tracks like everything, like your blood pressure and sugar levels and whatnot. So she was like trying to sell me this, and would I be able to look over a quick video if she sent it to me, and yada yada yada. So what I did, because I was intrigued, I went to her Facebook page, and because I wanted to see what the hell this thing is, like I was kind of interested, but I didn't want to tell her that I was. So I went to her Facebook and I was looking through trying to see, because I'm like, if she's selling this thing, she's got to be talking about it. There was not one thing on her Facebook page about it. Nothing. And so I actually said to her, well, first I said, I'm at work, just because I wanted to throw that out at her. And I said, oh, so I'm assuming you love the product. I actually just went to your page to see if I could find out a little bit more info, but I didn't see anything about it yet. And she responded back saying, oh, yes, I'm actually just trying to keep it a little bit quiet just to see how I feel about this, yada, yada, yada. So I wasn't interested. Maybe if I had gone to her page and seen like her talking about it and how it had changed everything for her and how cool this was, and saw other people, commenting and liking on her posts, like maybe I would have been like, oh, okay, this is kind of interesting. But there was nothing. So you have to ask yourself, if when you're sending out these invites, people are going to do the exact same thing to us, right? They're going to go and be like, okay, so what's she talking about? A challenge group or coaching? And then are they going to see anything that intrigues them? So that's what we have to be thinking about, because that's people's natural reaction immediately, is to go and check out what it is we are doing. Same with our friend requests. If we're sending out, 5 to 10 friend requests a day, which we should be, you know what they're doing? They're going and looking at our personal page and seeing, who is this chick friend requesting me? And what are they going to see? What do we want them to see? Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but do you suggest we start posting more on our personal pages too?
I do.
So that they can...
I do, because, and I don't know why this I remember like a year ago, Michelle showed us all this video of, I want to say it was like Danielle Natoni or something, like a very top coach. And she was like, do not use your personal profile or your page anymore. Like, forget all about it. You use your like page, yada, yada, yada. So we stopped posting anything on our personal page, which was fine with me because I did not want to post anything on my personal page. But just in the last couple of weeks, I've sort of felt like if I'm doing this, like I need to do it. And because people are going to our pages, they are looking at us when we friend request them. So we want to show them what we're all about. And if we're not showing them anything, like why would they want to be friends with us, right? So it kind of opened up my eyes a little bit. And actually the reason why this happened is because I'm in a mastermind group with one other coach, like a Canadian coach. And every other week we get together with one of the guys from corporate. So we have like a little like Zoom call basically. And I'd been having these like Zoom calls with this girl, and I never really went and looked her up on Facebook. So I went and looked her up on Facebook. And of course I went right to her personal page, and I was like, spent way too much time scrolling and creeping her. I'm like, oh my God, she's a great coach. She's like 21 and totally different than what I am. But I was like, oh my God, she's awesome. Like, this is so cool. And then I thought she was probably doing the same shit to me, and going to my personal page and thinking, how is she even where she's at when she's posted nada about coaching or challenge groups or Beachbody or health and fitness? Nothing. Because that's what it would look like. And I even thought, like, so this guy from corporate who we have our meetings with, I could see he was liking all of her posts and shit. And I'm thinking, oh my God. So if he went to my page, he's got to be wondering how I'm making this work. So it just sort of, that was when I thought, I think I need to start posting on my personal page, because no one is seeing what we do. And when I'm adding people as friends, I want them to start seeing who it is I am. And then there's not that urgent rush to dump them into our support group, which can be kind of icky feeling sometimes, right? Like, we friend request them and then we're like, we got to do something with them. We want them to know what we do. So we quickly dump them in. And, not everybody responds well to that. I've had, luckily only a couple of people, but I still think we need to do that, is dump them in. But also I think we all almost need them to linger on our personal page for a little bit and just to see who we are. And then when we kind of toss them in there, they're not like, what is she doing? I've been friends with her for 5 minutes and she dumps me in a support group. Like, that's the only reason she wanted to be friends with me. I don't know. So it was just some things have kind of changed in my thinking in the last couple weeks.
Megan, do you ever think that we should just not use our support group? Go straight to our personal page, just eliminate the whole support group altogether, have our personal page and our like page.
Yeah, it's for sure crossed my mind. And at one point I almost was like, you know what, I'm just going to do it. Because I'm very much like a all in or all out. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to create a post and say, closing this down, moving over to my personal page. And it would just make life a lot easier. But I also really like my support group. I have a lot of women in it. Like, I'm almost like 3,000 women in there. So I have way more people in there than I do friends. So I do see value in it for me because it works really well for me. But if maybe you're not moving as fast as you would like with your support group, I would almost jump ship. I don't know. I would just go to your personal page. And that's what I'm sort of telling my new coaches, is I'm sort of wanting them to do that. And that was also a realization that I need to start posting on my personal wall. If I'm trying to encourage them to start doing that, why would they do that if I have never posted on there? So there's a few reasons why I started posting on my personal page. And it hasn't been nearly as scary as I thought it would be.
So not scary, but I have a couple questions about it. So I have somebody who does those, I mentioned the Thrive thing, like the patches and stuff. And she's a really respected fitness person in our community. And she's always like, got my Thrive on, ready for the day, kind of. And so with her like general friends and family, like that could be annoying. Like I'm somewhat intrigued, even though I do this because she's been so consistent with it. So you can see how it would work. Like, obviously not interested, but you can see how like it works. But then I'm also like, I don't really want to just like throw it all out there for like just my grandparents and my,
Yeah.
Because then I've done it a couple times where I've just done some like, oh, I'm into health and fitness now kind of post. And then you just get like 10 comments of like, super proud of you, super exciting, you look so good. Like, and that's not really what I want either, right? You want to encourage others and you want to, support that avatar, and you don't want to just get a million congratulations or be, I don't know, spamming everybody either.
Yeah.
I don't know what you feel about that, but.
Yeah. I think, even it's like when we first started our support group, when we first started our posts, I think it was a lot of like, oh, awesome, you're going to do great at this. And it was the same sort of thing. And it's almost like starting over again a little bit. Like your likes and comments are probably going to be a little bit lower because it's your personal page, but it's the consistency thing. And I'm not saying any of you guys need to like go shut your group down.
No.
Like at all. Like I love my group. I really do. And I think it is valuable in so many ways that a page, like a Facebook page isn't. But I do think that you need to start tossing some things on your personal page.
So what kind of things would you recommend? Like just like about how you feel healthier or?
Yeah, the exact same stuff that you post in your support group. That's sort of what I've been doing. I've been posting, my workout videos, and I'm still not as comfortable as being vulnerable there that I am in my group. But I'm just trying to share like some nutrition and some recipes and just like funny mom stuff, because sometimes I want to like put a lot of my kids stuff in my support group, and I'm like, that probably gets annoying for them. But I like that stuff on my wall, and more of like the deep personal stuff for my group because it's more of like an intimate setting. But there definitely is stuff you could be putting on your personal page, and it's coming out of your comfort zone for sure. But I just think it serves a lot of purpose because people are creeping us. And if they're not seeing anything there, it's like we have this like hidden business and we're like a closet coach, right?
I actually came out yesterday when we bought our stuff, and we got it yesterday. And I thought about that too. And I did that whole post about, have you created a vision board? And I thought, okay, where am I going to post this? And I just went ahead and I posted it on my personal page. And I talked about, people thought probably I was crazy when I first became this Beachbody coach. And, I kind of just did a post on it. And I was a bit nervous to post it on my personal page, but I'm kind of glad now that I did. Because one, it showed like what I've done. And it also showed that that I'm not afraid of what people think. I stepped out of my comfort zone, and I thought, so yeah, I'm actually glad that I did that yesterday.
Yeah. And you almost get to a point where like, I know I am getting there where I'm really proud about what I'm doing, and I almost want like to show it off, I guess. Whereas before I wanted to like sort of hide what I was doing because I was like embarrassed. I don't know, which we shouldn't be. It's so silly. It's like the whole personal development thing, right? But now I'm like, yeah, I kind of want the people who aren't in my group to see this and see what I'm doing and to understand it a little bit more. So yeah, it's just something to start thinking about, I think, for sure. For sure.
I really agree with you, Megan. I've had like 2 weeks of like just a lot of new people, and I was actually looking at my group last week, and I realized when I was sharing my actual, how you share your page in a message, and it said, you have 410 members that are actual friends, and I still had like another 500 that weren't even friends with me yet. like that I've friend requested or they've just added into my group. So I mean, putting stuff on your personal page, just like, you know, that story that you just said, like people, if they were to look at my page, they would probably never know anything because I really don't post anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I really need to start getting out of this comfort because I have a lot of girls at work now that are always asking me because they're in my group and they're always like, oh, you're doing so good. You know, you look like you're having fun. And I'm like, and I could probably have so many more people intrigued if I would just put it on my personal page. So yes, I think that's a really good point.
You should just do
You
it.
have to be a product of, you know, like that's helping you be accountable as well, right? Like you have to be proud of what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, look at Michelle. She's like constantly posting now on her personal page. And like, I'm like, I think it's just so awesome. And like, yeah.
She's going live in her personal page.
No.
Yeah.
Like on her wall, she's going live. Like that's really scary, but yeah.
She's doing
I can go live in my group. Like that doesn't, at first it freaked me out, but I can go live in my group now and it doesn't really scare me anymore. But to go live on my Facebook wall, that is, scary.
Yeah, I know. And it's just, it's going into your comfort zone. But again, like that's how you make things happen. And that's how you take it to the next level. Like I truly believe that you have to be constantly sort of stepping up your game. I'm reading the 10X rule right now. And that's what it's all about, is just like 10Xing everything that you're doing and not stopping and just doing what people aren't willing to do. So yeah, it's something I think worth thinking about. And even I just decided one morning, I was like, okay, I'm going to post about my workout today. And I think I sort of did like a little bit of a coming out post. Like it was right before my workout started and I thought I looked kind of cute. So I thought I'd take a picture, you know, when you think you look good, so you start taking a million pictures. So I took a picture before my workout and I was like, I might post this on my personal wall and just talk about like, you know, wondering where I get my motivation from. And I forget how I led into it, but that was sort of, so it was almost like my grand opening post on my profile picture. And I think I included the link to my support group in that post. Like I just said something, if you're looking for more, you know, if you're looking for motivation yourself or some healthy tips, you can join my group here. Because I just thought that was kind of a good way of like showing some people what it is I'm doing. And then I just started posting. And I'm not posting 3 times a day, but I have been posting at least once a day on there. And I want to increase it. I want to be doing it about 3 times a day on my personal page because I see the value in it. And I do what works for other people. It's working for Michelle. She's successful. So I'm going to do what she's doing. So, okay. So I'm going to get back to my notes here. So yeah, okay, sorry. Okay, so what you want to do with your page, wherever you're running your business from, is you want to do the 3 scroll test, which this probably isn't news to you hearing this, but basically when people scroll like 3 finger scrolls through, they should be able to tell all these things. So that you are a Beachbody coach, or that you're a coach of some sort. You don't have to like actually say Beachbody coach. You are product of the product, and they can join you as a customer in a challenge group. That you have a business opportunity for them. That and something about you, something that makes you personable and relatable to them. So you want to be able to go to your page right now even and look through just like a few quick scrolls, no more than that, because people, their attention span is very short. So when you add someone into your group, that's what they're going to do. They're going to just take a quick scroll. And if they don't see anything interesting or anything that touches them or relates to them, they're out of there. That's what's going to happen. But if you have something there that draws them in, you've got them. But you need them to be able to see those things, that you're a coach, they can join a challenge group, that you have a business opportunity for them, and something about you that is personable and that relates to them. Okay, so that's every day. That should be the case, that every night before you go to bed, you should do the 3 scroll test, and you should be able to see those things. So show up every single day. Show up every single day to your Facebook page. High caliber people will not sign up with a wandering ship. I thought that was a really cool quote. High caliber people will not sign up with a wandering ship. If you are not consistent in your post, you are not going to attract those high quality people. That's just the reality. Hardworking people are going to sign up with hardworking, consistent people. Okay, so you are going to attract certain people, and you want to attract the right people, and it's up to you. If we want to attract high quality people, we have to be high quality people. I thought those were all like really like just kind of powerful little statements. So the third little point here is using your story. So let's be totally honest. There are a ton of coaches in the network, right? Like there's like, I don't know, 450,000 at this point. A lot of them discount, but there's a lot of coaches out there. So what is going to make you stand out from the crowd? It's your story. That is what's going to make you different from every single one of us here tonight, from every other coach in the network, is your story. So we can all post about our shake, we can all post about our workout, and we can all post about how great coaching is. But the fact is, if we aren't sharing our individual story, we are just another number. We are just another coach, because that's what all coaches are doing. All coaches are talking about Shakeology and their workout and how awesome coaching is. That's just a given. We each have our own story, and that is what is going to draw in our avatar. So it all connects. And if you sort of are sitting here thinking like, I don't have a story, my story is not great, my story sucks, I have nothing that would like really intrigue anybody, you do have a story. It's important and it does matter. So you all need to craft your story. That is like don't worry, I'm not going to make you do it tonight. But that is like super important, that you take some time to craft your story. Again, that is not going to get you to Success Club in the next 24 hours, but it is going to help you hugely in the next month or so, okay? So crafting your story is super important. I'm going to give you a couple tips to write down about what your story should entail. Okay, so there's 4 elements to creating your story. The first one is who you are and where you've been. So who you are and where you've been. Second one is what's happened in your life to cause you to look for something more. What's happened in your life to cause you to look for something more. The third one is how you heard about your company and why you had to be part of it. So how you heard about Beachbody and why you had to be part of it. And the fourth is what it's doing for you or going to do for you. I will read you guys my story, if I can find it. And I know I did share it with you guys before, but I think it always helps.
Sorry, Megan.
Yeah.
What was number 3 again? Sorry.
Number 3 is how you heard about Beachbody and why you had to be part of it.
And sorry, what was number 4?
Number 4 is what it's doing for you or going to do for you. I think it should almost be and, because really it should already be doing something for you, but you want it to
It's doing
know
for
it's going
you.
to do something even more for you. Okay, so I'll just read my story to you guys. Okay, so I am a mom of 4 young children, and so this follows the exact formula of what I just said. I am a mom of 4 young children, and since having my first baby 7 years ago, I have been consumed with everything that comes with being a mom. I was not taking care of myself. I was unhealthy. I was tired, and I lacked motivation. I thought that was just how being a mom was supposed to feel like. So that was the first point. I heard about Shakeology through a longtime family friend, and I thought it would be perfect for me. Finally, a way I could fuel my body right while still being able to run around with my kids. I immediately knew Shakeology and Beachbody programs was something I wanted to share with everyone. That was the second part. I am now growing a team of like-minded women. I run this business from home in between all the mom cracks. I now see that this is a way for us to create the lifestyle and future we have always wanted, and I am excited to inspire more women and moms to dream big as well. In just 2 years into the business, I am earning more than my full-time income as an RN, all while being home and present with my kids. And that was the fourth part. Okay, so you can sort of like craft it. That took me like 5 minutes to craft when I had that formula. And what I can do now is I can expand each of those sections to make it longer. Like your story should be pretty short, because that's something I could share with someone. Like if someone was like, oh, like what brought you into Beachbody? Like what made you interested in coaching? I could share that little story with them, right? Like it doesn't sound scripted. It's my story. I didn't get it from anybody. I created it myself, but I can also take snippets of that story and create posts from that, because you want to be always sharing your story consistently on social media, not just every once in a while. Like you always want to be sharing your story, because again, that is what is going to be drawing in your avatar. Okay, back to my notes here. Okay, so I want you guys to all create your story too. Not right now, but like at some point, maybe on April 1st, when everyone's not so stressed. So you want to share a little piece of that story every single day, a little piece, even if it's like a 2-line post, just something about your story. You want to share that every single day. Okay. You are going to draw people in when you use your story. You're going to attract your avatar. They don't have to be long drawn out posts. Like I said, just short little snippets here and there. I think those are sometimes more effective than the really long posts about, we tend to start like wanting to explain more and more and more and have like more interesting points that we want to keep putting in. But really, I think sometimes little snippets kind of generate curiosity and interest more, and kind of leave people with questions and like wanting more and wanting to know more and wanting to follow you to find out more about you and what's going on. If you think there is no point in sharing your story, you are totally wrong. There is a big point, and it is like 100% going to draw people in. I don't care how lame you think your story is. It's not. If you dig deep into it enough, it's not lame. We've all got something. I did not think I had a story. I really didn't. But once I started kind of looking into where I was before Beachbody, turns out I do have a story, and it's a story that a lot of women and moms can relate to. So you all have one of those too. So the last point is sealing the deal. So are you connecting with at least 3 new people a day? Awesome. But that is not going to be enough to build this business. 3 new people a day. It's great, but it's not enough. If you are going for Emerald, you need to bump that up to 10 new people a day. If you're going for Diamond, bump it up to 20 new people a day. I'm not saying you need to invite that many people every day. I'm saying you need to be talking to that many new people, connecting with that many new people. It's the new people that you need to be constantly talking to, as well as the old people. But it's the new people that are super, super important for building your business. This doesn't have to take a lot of time. You need to be laser focused when you do this. Shut down your newsfeed, shut down your inbox, shut down everything, and take 20 minutes to just connect with 10 to 20 people or whatever your number is. And they need to be new people. So what I sort of was trying to figure out, like a new system, not a new system, but see what people are doing with their friend requests. Because like what you guys have all sort of learned from me is, you know, you friend request and you get them into your group and you send them a message. Like I think we've all sort of consistently done that system. And I just like invented that system. I didn't like hear it from a top coach or anything. It was just like a system that I figured out and that worked really well for me. But I always wondered, so what are other people doing? Because we are kind of the minority. Most people do not have these support groups. Like it's a very like Brian and Amy are always like, okay, so what? Like when Brian first started kind of taking note of my business, he was like, so where, like, how are you doing this? Like, what's with your group? Like they were sort of like shocked about how I run my group and how that's like, he's like, so that's where you're getting your coaches from? That's where you find your challengers? Like it was just very strange. Whereas to me, that was just like normal, right? So I always wondered, so people who are not running a group like the way we are, what are they doing with their friend requests? How are they like connecting with them and inviting them to something? So I did a little bit of research. So what it seems like people are doing, they're sending 5 to 10 friend requests a day, which is what we should do. So this one particular coach, she does it at night. It's the last thing she does. She lays in bed and she scrolls through and friend requests like 10 people and then shuts her phone down, goes to bed. And then the next day, she goes through the people that accepted her friend request and she adds them to her tracking, she said. So I know on Facebook you can do like an interest list. I've never experimented with it, but I know you can add people into an interest list. So you can sort of like creep certain people by just going to this list. So I don't know if maybe she uses that, but then she spends the next 3 to 4 days sort of just once a day quickly checking out their profile and just likes and comments a few of their things, like nothing totally creepy, like not going through and liking everything, but just the occasional thing from them, just to sort of like get her popped up in their news feed and for them to see like, oh, who's this Megan that liked my profile picture today or whatever. So that's what she does. And then what she says it does is it draws them to her Facebook page. So again, sort of the importance of using your Facebook page. It draws them to go check her out and creep her out. And then that way, when she messages them a few days later, they've already kind of seen what she's about because she has a good storefront. She's consistently posting about the coaching opportunity, challenge groups, stuff about her. So this person who she friend requested sort of already has a good sense of who she is. And if she wasn't interested in anything, she would have deleted her friend request, but she's still a friend of hers. So she's seen the stuff. So then she just starts sort of connecting with them. And I don't know what exactly she says, but I know she doesn't just send out an invite right away. It was more, she said she just connects with them. Like, you know, thanks so much for the friend request or for the ad. You know, I think she even could say something like, you know, are you new to health and fitness at all? Because it's been a few days and this person more than likely has seen her stuff. We don't see ever, like if you are adding friends a lot, you're not seeing the same people's stuff. And if you've like, I have like, I don't know, 1,500 friends or something, but the average person only has a couple hundred friends on Facebook, right? So if you are a brand new friend to them, they probably are going to see a lot of your stuff right away. So they probably know. So when she asks that question, are you into health and fitness? They're not like, why is she asking me that? They kind of are like, oh yeah, she's that one that posts all that stuff about challenge groups and working out and shit. So that's sort of how she then builds that relationship. That's what it sounds like. So again, that's just sort of another way of looking at things. She says like cold invites, which I go back and forth with cold invites. I really don't feel good about cold invites. Of course, I've done it. And like when I'm saying a cold invite, I'm saying like sending an invite to a challenge group to someone that I really don't know. I don't feel good about that. I really believe that we need to connect with these people first and sort of find out what their needs are and if it would even benefit them before inviting them. But at the same time, if you're seeing something on their page all the time, maybe about how like, oh, they just wish they could lose this baby weight, like people post about that stuff, I don't think there's anything wrong with reaching out to them and being like, okay, I hope you don't think this is weird, but I did just see your post and I've been noticing, that you're really struggling. Like I'm running a challenge group. Would you like to join? Or the coaching. If you see someone who you really just think like would be awesome at it, then yeah, reach out to them. But as far as just like throwing out cold invites, like we don't want to be those spammers, right? So I don't know. Does that make sense at all? Yeah.
Whenever because recently I've been sending out those cold invites because, it's the end of the month and I was a little bit stressed out. So, but then once they say, yeah, sure, I'll hear a little bit more information or I'm interested in more information or whatever, then I always been turning it around being like, so do you have a health and fitness goal that you're working on? Like, I just don't go and throw them out the 21-day fix right away.
Yeah.
So, and then like, I'm trying to go back and forth for a while, but it's almost like, yeah, it doesn't feel good because I'm rhyming off questions and I'm rushing to the final.
Yeah.
Like I'm rushing it. So I'm waiting for them to, but yeah, I'm trying to turn it around to ask them more of their goals and whatnot, but.
Yeah. Lucy, honey, go back into bed, okay? Go back. My kids are like sleepwalking. So weird. God. Yeah, she's in bed. Yeah, so that was just kind of, it was interesting. And because she said something about like that this girl who I was watching, she had received a friend request from somebody and she accepted. And she said like, so it was like 7:58, she got a friend request. And literally at 7:59, this person messaged her and was like, thank you for accepting my friend request, and like invited her to something. And she just said like, what was that? Like, whoa. Like, and so I never thought of it from like the other side of things, because trust me, I have totally done that, right? Like you send a friend request, they accept, and it's like immediately dump them in my group and message them. Like that's what I did. And that's what I told all of you guys to do too, right? And I'm not saying stop doing that, because it worked. Like it worked for me for a long, long time. But also it's like, is it coming off though as sort of like icky to some people? I don't know. So it was just sort of another way of looking at things. And I think I never let them linger on my personal page too long, because I wanted them to see what I had to offer. And the only way I was able to show them that was getting them into my support group right away. But now that I'm starting to post on my personal page, I don't feel that like urgency to throw them in, because I know they're going to start seeing it. So I did a giveaway, like Elaine, in one of my groups, I went in and offered the recipe giveaway. So of course some people responded and I friend requested them, but I didn't want to like immediately dump them in, because it just felt like kind of icky. I don't know. And so but I felt okay about them hanging out on my personal page for a few days. And so that was like 3 days ago that I added these people. So then this morning I decided, okay, they've been friends of mine for a few days. They've seen what I have to offer. Like not that I'm posting a lot, but they've seen some things. They still are my friend. So I'm going to put them into my group. And so I did that this morning, and that felt a little bit better instead of doing it immediately. but it was because I had some things to offer them on my personal page already. So that's really where I see the value of having posting on both. And then another thing that I just wanted to mention, we all have those people on our Facebook list that we think would be awesome at being a coach. Usually that's kind of what we see. We need to just ask them. Instead, we let fear get in our way big time. I did a post last night on my support group. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was just kind of a different way of talking about coaching. And I had some people comment on it that I did not expect to comment on it. And so I talked to them about the coaching opportunity, and I've added like a few people into the sneak peek just in this, like tonight and this afternoon from that one post. And it was people who I was too afraid to mention it to. So don't be afraid. We have to stop letting fear kind of rule how we're working our business. And we just need to ask those people, and we have nothing to lose. We have to make a list, like our chicken list basically, and just ask those people. Because if you don't, someone else is going to, more than likely, because like I said, there's so many Beachbody coaches out there, and there's people that are a lot more aggressive than we ever will be. So if we don't ask them, someone else is going to. So I gave you guys a lot of action items tonight, like creating your avatar, creating your story, potentially starting to post on your Facebook profile, and just, the friend requesting and stuff. So you can take what I tell you and do it and see what happens, or take no action. It's 100% up to you. I'm always someone who takes action in everything. If Michelle ever gives me an idea, I take action. It might take me a little bit to feel comfortable enough to do it, but I always take action. So my advice is to take action, whether it's what I've told you or someone else has told you or something you've heard, but just take action, because we constantly have to be changing things up, which is something I've learned because I am very comfortable with staying on the same path and just doing what I do and what I've been doing for 2 years in this business. And Michelle sort of always keeps me like, no, we got to change it up. We got to do something different. We can't do that anymore. It's not working. We got to do this now. And that is very out of my comfort zone, but I'm trying to do that because I know that is how you become successful at this. We can't be successful doing the exact same things time in and time out, especially if it's not working for you. If you feel like you're really not moving the way you want to be moving, then we got to change it up. And there's so many ways you can change it up, but you got to change it up. Maybe that means running your business from your personal page. Maybe that's for you. It's not for me because my group works and it has worked, but I'm not ruling it out. I'm not saying I'm not going to move over there one day, so I'm keeping my options open. But if your group's not working for you and you're not seeing the success that you want out of it, maybe you got to change it up. Maybe you got to move it all to a like page and start running ads. Maybe you want to go to your personal page. I don't know. Or change up how you're friend requesting or how you're messaging or whatever it is. But you have to sort of take action on new steps all the time. That's all I got. Anyone have questions? I will unmute you guys. You can just mute yourself if you want to.
Do you find, Megan, when you've been posting on your personal page, you're getting greater response?
I wouldn't say greater response, no. Like, I don't think that I'm now getting more likes and comments on my like health and fitness type posts, but I am getting different people, I guess. Yeah. And I think that it will just keep increasing. It's like when we started our support group, we had like 1 or 2 likes on things or no likes. And now as time goes on, we get more and more. I think that's exactly what it's like on our personal page. You can't expect to do one post over there and have 350 likes on it, or even 5 likes,
Yeah. And you would still be sending those messages to the people that are commenting and liking your post just as you would in their fitness page?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Because there's tons of people that have left my group that I added in maybe when I first started or even a year ago that left it. But my group is totally different now than it was a year ago. I'm a different person. I talk about different things. So maybe what I was posting about last year did not impact them at all. Or maybe they're in a different spot. Maybe they were so insecure and so angry with their own life that they couldn't even like think about doing something good for themselves, and they hated seeing someone being happy. But now they're at a spot where they might benefit from what I have to offer, but they would never see it again because they're not in my group anymore. There's people like that, right? Someone last week may not have been ready to see anything about a challenge group, but now they got a phone call and they have a date next weekend and they haven't ever been with a guy before, and now all of a sudden they're feeling amazing about themselves and they want to step it up and they're feeling happy, and now I appeal to them, right? Like, people change all the time, so we need to be able to have access to all those people still. And your personal page, you can reach people. Like, if you're, it's almost like a like page in a sense, like people who you're not friends with can see your stuff. So it's another way of sort of adding to your market a little bit.
I think it's a great idea.
And if you tag your husband in anything, all of his friends see your stuff. And if they start liking it, you can friend request them. So. How was that?
Lots of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love when you like call us out like this. I do.
Well, I'm not really calling anybody out.
Well, no, but like for us to take action, you know, like we're here for a reason. Like, I know myself personally.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have reached, you know, for help if I didn't need help. So sometimes, you know, it's
what I actually had written down, but I just didn't feel comfortable saying it.
Until now.
Not that bad, but I said,
Now that you.
now I said, I gave you guys action items. If you choose to not take action, nothing will change. Essentially, like, right? Like, nothing more is going to change if you don't take more action. So, and it's something that I have to learn all the time. Like, honestly, I know if Michelle was not my mentor, I would have stalled out, because she's the one who keeps like pushing me like, no, this isn't working, Megan. We got to change it. We got to do this. We got to do this. And now she's like wanting to do a live webinar for coaching. She's like, yeah, we got to get on this. This is what the top coaches are doing now. They're not doing sneak peeks. They're doing live webinars every week. And I'm like, well, I do not want to do a live webinar. I feel like I'm going to vomit thinking about it. But we'll end up doing a live webinar. You wait. You know, because she pushes to take that next step and to do what we need to do in order to move forward with this. And it's what we should want to do in every area of our life, not just with this, like with everything. So
yeah, it's just letting that confidence come through, right? Like I'm a good 10 years older than like Jen Guthrie or whatever, and she looks like deliriously like happy like all the time. But then like when I got my hair done, like I felt that inside. So I was like, no, I'm going to show that. And then I saw somebody picking my kid up after, and she's like, oh, your hair looks nice. You look pretty excited about it. I'm like, oh, I was. It's like sometimes come across a little awkward, but you got to show that. Like, be afraid to like, don't be afraid to like, show that video because you're confident you made that step. And,
yeah, I totally know what you mean, Miranda. Like, I know, I 100% feel you, because I still feel that every single day. Like when I drop the kids off at school, I'm like, oh my God, 2 hours ago I just posted this like motivating like workout selfie, right? And I'm like, oh, it's just, but we can't let those thoughts get to us. And you're still thinking about it, but you know what? She probably never thought about it again.
Yeah.
Right? But it stays with us. And that's why personal development is key to this. Like, you really can't.
Oh yeah, like constantly.
Yeah.
Do you guys, do you listen to The Charged Life?
I haven't in a while, but I used to, yeah.
Yeah, I listened to this one that I'm trying to find a way to upload to the chat, because it was, well, there was like 20 key points within like his 5 minutes of talking. Like, it was just so great.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, like, I mean, posting on my personal page was like, it still like really makes me feel ill. But the more you do it, it's just like anything, it's just kind of becomes a little less like vomit worthy. Like, it just doesn't feel as scary, but it's super scary until you start doing it. And
yeah, I think you just want to make sure the intention comes across, right? Like, you're not doing it so that everybody can, I don't know, see your million selfies or,
yeah,
be a salesperson or like.
yeah. And that's why, like, I haven't posted anything about joining a challenge group or the coaching opportunity on there. It's just been more like jabs, lots of jabs on there. And that, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, I've just been sharing, you can just start slowly. If it is something you want to do, which I really do believe it has value because of just the simple thing of us requesting friends. Like, take a look at your profile page. What does it look like? Because when I looked at mine, it was shady. Like, I had people tagging me in stupid Pinterest quotes, and like, there was like nothing relevant. There was nothing updated. My cover photo was awful. Like, so when I actually took a second, and because honestly, all I could think of was this other coach that I'm in this mastermind group, that she went and looked at my profile, which hands down she did. It's what we all do. She would have looked at mine, and I was so embarrassed when I actually realized, oh my gosh, this other 2-star diamond coach in Canada that is like gunning for elite went and looked at my page, and it looks like shit. And then I went and looked at hers, and she's all beach body and coaching and happy and nutrition and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God, I have people tagging me in their plank challenge. Like, that was about the gist of it. Like, so I took some time and I cleaned it all up, because you can hide posts. If people are tagging you and stuff constantly, you can hide them on your timeline so that it stays clean. So I'm always looking at my profile picture, my profile page now, and just making sure it looks clean and inviting and intriguing. So you don't have to just all of a sudden jump into being a coach on your page, but just start posting any day-to-day stuff. Ease into it, or jump in with 2 feet, whatever.
Yeah, sounds good.
Do you guys have any questions at all?
I have just it's kind of an off-topic question before we go. The coach they're bringing to Super Saturday, so it's like next weekend. She's almost like all in, like she wants to go with this business, but she's not sure where to start. And we're coworkers, but we haven't had a chance to like talk more than like 2 words about it at work or anything. And like, we're really good friends too. And so other than adding her to the team in the sneak peek, like, what should I, not a script, but what should I tell her to get her like started?
So she's a coach yet?
She's a discount coach. Yeah. She's been for a few weeks. Yeah. Well, she wants to make it a real coach. Yeah.
So it's sort of the same process with anyone. Like, I would first off figure out what her goals are with this, like even her next 30 days, or what interests her in
to actually do this. Yeah.
Yeah. Just, that would be like the very first question that I would ask her. Like, so what does interest you about this? Like, what part of it? Is it the income potential? Is it the accountability? Like,
I think it's that she feels so passionate about it. Like, she had one challenge and she's down like 12 pounds and like 8 inches, and like, she just feels amazing, and like, it's finally something that works and makes sense. It's life. It's a lifestyle. Like, she just she's like, I just want to tell everyone should be doing this. Like, that's just the way she talks now about it. So
she wants to inspire people.
Yeah.
So once you sort of find out what her reasoning is for doing this and having her explain that to you, then you need to get her plugged into some training so that she knows how to start her business and launch her business.
Okay. So she's she said she wants to do the one that starts on Monday. That'd be the training, right?
Yeah, I would also send her that Team Fitnik Academy doc.
Right.
I think actually I've since updated it so I can give it to you. I would give that to her like tonight even, and she can go ahead and start doing that at her own pace, because for the Coach Basics that starts on Monday, she's going to want to have already looked over that stuff.
Okay.
Smile for Sonia. So yeah, I would send her that document and add her into the team page and welcome her and have her start the coach
she's
on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah. And then your next challenge group, like you can run it together with her, like just take her lead. What does she want to do? Does she want to just, because she obviously knows how a challenge group runs, but she could help you run the challenge group. Have her do one of the posts each day.
Yeah, well, I just congratulated her today because we were in prep week for challenges in there, and she was like offering motivation and all these encouraging comments, and I was like, oh, that's great.
Yeah. So even say to her, hey, do you want to do like the evening post for the challenge?
Okay.
And just give her like some sort of responsibility if she wants.
Okay.
And send her the Team Fitnik doc and get her into Coach Basics. And then just support her. And I mean, all the information's there for her to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
She essentially has to start her business.
Yeah, I guess my question came from, she's so passionate, I just don't want her to get like overwhelmed come Super Saturday, right? Like I want her to kind of have some kind of basic, like base to that, right?
It'll be good timing for her. Like if she does do the Coach Basics and kind of gets a sense of what it is we do and then goes to Super Saturday, like that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is everybody going to Super Saturday? Kate, I know you're going for like a long weekend. Carlene, are you coming?
No, I can't. Gord's working. He leaves for work. So, yeah, I'm stuck at home.
Cassie, are you coming? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you are? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going down with my husband on the Saturday.
Right, okay. So how many of us are driving together then? Linda, are you still driving?